All right, let's get started on this welding table. So, I cut up the legs. I used Inventor to build the frame. That's this picture right here, straight from Inventor. Very high quality, you know. Inventor's got this really cool frame generator, so you can just sketch up a table. Like I sketched up a 4x8 table in Inventor, and then I just sketched up a frame, and then it'll actually generate. It's really cool. It'll actually generate the frame based on your sketch, and like you tell it. Like I used 1/8. Well, you really can't see it. Square tubing. That's what I ended up buying. But I think the coolest part is it gives you an actual build, like a bill of materials on Inventor, and it'll actually tell you every single length. So what I did is, as opposed to getting the tape measure out and like measuring, like, oh man, I want to do the frame 2 inches from here. You know what I mean? Like go up here, here, and then have like a 2-inch gap. You just design that in Inventor, and then it spits out the lengths of everything that you need. And so then I just cut them all up to length. I'm not going to go over the lengths, but if anyone wants the I don't know what file type it would be for the frame, but I can definitely, more than willing to share the files. It's just a simple frame, so it's not a big deal. It ends up being, so if you want to do a 4x8 table and you want to do this exact frame, so just all square tubing, I ended up having to, well, I'll get to that in a second. It's 60 feet of 2x2, and I'm using 1/8, even though it's a 1/2-inch table and it weighs like 500 plus pounds. You're not like side loading the tube, so I figure that 1/8 is plenty, and you know, square tube's plenty strong. So I did have to end up, so you kind of have to be careful when you're cutting these things, because I ended up cutting the legs first, because I was like, that was the first thing I did, and I wanted them to be really accurate. So they're all 27 because I got 7.5-inch casters. But you want to make sure that when you cut your drops from your cut, you still have enough like length to make the rest of your tubes. Because what ended up happening was I cut all the tubes, but I needed 6 pieces that were 40 inches long, and I got 5 pieces out by the time I was done. So I ended up having to take I got like some scrap. This is just 2x3 out of the scrap pile, and that ended up working. But you want to be careful about that. So you might actually want to buy like another half stick or a full stick of material. Well, not a full stick, but a half stick, because a half stick's 12 feet. Anyways, we'll get to the fun part that everyone wants to see, the welding part. I'm just gonna MIG it with a, I don't remember, I think it's a 221. No, 210. Sorry. 210 MP, you know, multi-process. And I'm going to use, yeah, well, whatever. We'll get to that. Let's do it. I think that'll work. In the middle. Look out, buddy. Look out. All right, got the top of the frame together, kind of, just tacked. So, let's see. So I went ahead and just tacked the corners, made sure they're square, and I left like an 1/8 gap right on the edges, because I'm gonna weld up and inside, not on this part, because the table's gonna go sit on this side, so I made sure everything was flat, level, because you want the whole plate resting on the entire frame. And then that's that 2x3 I was talking about. And then make sure it's center and center. Oops. And yeah. So what I'm gonna do is flip it over and weld the 27-inch legs onto the corners first. Make sure they're square, and then we're gonna weld like the braces between the legs, because there's physically no other way to do it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. Alright, got the legs tacked on. I made sure they were straight in this direction, this way, mostly. I mean, they're mostly square, but I don't know, the saw doesn't seem to cut very square anymore, so I gotta fight around with a little bit. Alright, what I'm gonna do next is I got the long pieces that go in between here. Where's the paper? Oh man. These guys. And they're 6 inches from the bottom to the bottom of the tube, so here to here. 6 inches. So I thought I was trying to figure out a creative way to clamp them up in the air, but I'm just gonna turn the whole thing on its side and have the tube sit on the ground basically. I think that'll be easier to clamp, but I am not too sure, so we'll find out. Alright, I lost some footage. Hold on, let me shut this off. Of me putting the frame together, but this is where we're at, and I'm doing the welds now, the full welds after it's been fully tacked together. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna work on right now. I just do like opposite corners, so I started here and I went over there. I actually should have went up then down, but I went corner to corner, and then I went bottom, and then we're gonna do the next top side, so that side and then that side. And then, yeah. Or maybe we'll do this one up. That would be truly opposite. Let's continue on welding. I'm like waiting 10 minutes in between each set, so the table definitely doesn't warp. Because I've had a many table warp from not letting the frame settle after you weld it. Also helps to have it tacked now.
First season. I just finished some stainless stuff, but I got a little bit more coming up, so that.
So as far as like welding this table, I'm only welding the welds. Oh, shut this up again. I'm only like welding a full length, like this guy, and then I'm doing an opposite corner down on the other end, and then I just wait till I can touch the weld before I start doing, you know, the rest of the welds, just so I know that the table is not warped, and I made sure that the whole thing was tacked. I think I've already said that, but just doing a rundown. I don't know what footage is in or that I've got recorded, you know. So I'm gonna continue welding this. I usually want to do like the outsides first, like this. You want to stay away from these like these inside joints, like in here, because they pull really hard, but these ones won't pull too hard. And then another thing is yeah, start from the outside like I've been doing, and just opposite corner it and go slow. Just because you're going opposite corner doesn't mean you should blast a corner, blast another corner, and do every single corner. So both sides are extremely hot with the center being cold. It's gonna probably want to pick your legs up in some direction. Let's see, I think I'm gonna do these guys next. These, because I mean, I don't think those will pull at all. Or maybe I'll do the bottom ones downhill. Alright, I just drug the top as opposed to doing like, you know, cursive ease. So I wanted to show you guys my new Metabo that I got. Look at this piece. $40 new in box. This thing retails $230 on Amazon. I'm pretty proud of that. I bought it on Let Go or whatever. So yeah. So I'm gonna clean up these top welds because the plate's gonna sit on here. So you don't want these bumped up. And we will continue on. Alright, so I think I'm going to roll the table over on its side, and then I'm going to do the back sides of these, and then the front side, just so I'm not welding all top side, kind of even out the heat, you know. And then we'll look at doing the fillets, or not the fillets, but the inside corner joints last, just because those, like I said, those pull the hottest. So, yeah, I'd absolutely hate to warp all this work. I mean, I can deal with that. The tabletop not being straight, you can kind of fix it before you get it placed down. But if your frames, you know, if your footing's not good, then you know it's not gonna roll good because I'm getting big casters for it. So yeah, you want to do it right. So I'm taking my time doing it right now. Because the other one I have, the smaller one in the corner, that thing's warped. But it was my first table, so. Anyways.
That's just the way it is.
Alright, I got it all welded out. I stopped recording after a while because, well, it's kind of boring just doing all welds. So it's taken me like 3.5 hours to do all these, if not longer, probably 4. But it's not bent, so worth the time. Save, you know, do the extra couple hours of letting it cool down before it warps. Anyways, here it is in all her glory. Yeah, grind in the top ones. I decided to do the top ones. I thought it was in. This, I got some porosity because this was sitting under the fan, so a pinhold, and then I shut the fan off. Yeah, but they don't look half bad. Look pretty decent. Yeah, so I am impatient, and I'm gonna see how flat the half-inch piece of metal fits on it. Even though tomorrow the casters come in, so I'd have to take the tabletop off anyways. But I just want to see if it lays flat. Well, unfortunately, looks like I'm gonna have to wait to get the casters on because the table is not tall enough to clear the jack. Alright, well, yeah, let me get this down real quick. catch in the next one. We'll be doing the casters and all the plasma cutting stuff. So thanks for watching. Hit like if you liked it, and sub if you want to see more.